Who are you? Who? Well, something strange, isn't it? Maybe it was the singing. I didn't like my singing. So I did something strange. Welcome along. It's Tuesday evening. And it's me again. Woohoo! What else would you do on a Tuesday evening but something else rather than watching me? But thank you for those who do watch me. It's nice to have you along. Talking to myself at the moment, but any second now, people will come flooding into the room. Okay, well, one or two will come and watch, and that's all right. Maybe. Anyway, welcome to the isolation house, or one of the isolation houses. Thank you to those. Oh, Rod's here. I've got the forms, Rod. The forms, they're filled in. Oh, good. So, thank you to those, including Rod, who have offered to drop stuff in and have dropped, and some who have dropped stuff in, including Rod. Very kind and wonderful to have a church family who are looking after us and caring for us. So far, touch wood, Ollie and I are clean, and Kylie is feeling much better. A little bit tired, but she's over the sore throat and the runny nose. So, any luck on Friday, we will re-enter the world and discover what life is like out there. Yes. It's always interesting doing those tests and going, I hope I'm putting it up far enough, and who knows? Who knows? It has the funny tickly feeling that we had when it was in Sydney, so I presume it's all good. The little line appears for one and not the other. I'm hoping we're good. Anyway, welcome along. You don't need to hear my COVID issues, do you? Every Tuesday, we look at ministry with children and young people. So it's good to have you along. We recognise that the Yaga and the Turrbal people have cared for the land that we meet upon. And so we pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. If you're watching from somewhere else, you might want to take a moment to remember the original caretakers, custodians the right word, of your land, wherever you meet. I can't remember the word. Anyway, so, if you were watching last week, no one got it. We had for dinner pancakes because it was Shrove Tuesday. Well, no one wrote it. Apparently Diana was in the background yelling at Rod saying, it was pancakes. And Rod didn't type it in. So, Diana, you can get a prize. If you're listening in, Diana gets a prize. Because you got it right. Even if Rod wouldn't type it in for you. So, well done. Shrove Tuesday, so we had pancakes. I thought today, a little bit different. The song I started with, the song that's the title, Who Are You? Who are you? Who? You can either tell me what show that's used as the theme song for, or you can tell me the band who performed it, or you can do both and just go, look at me, I'm a smarty person. So yeah, what TV show uses that as a theme, and what band sung it originally. And I think it's them singing it in the theme thing. You know, who are you? Who. So anyway, last week we did Knowing Me, Knowing You. I'm into a song theme. Who knows where we'll be next week. Got to get some U2 lyric in there somewhere. Goodness me. I'm letting you side down, aren't I? So last week we started talking about the need to know ourselves and talked a little bit about Myers-Briggs coming out of the fact that the ministry team had a day a couple of weeks ago looking at our different personality styles. And we used the Enneagram. So the Enneagram apparently dates back to Greek, Middle Eastern times. Rod doesn't know. You don't know either? Oh, I thought you'd know who sung it. Okay, that's all right, Rod. You're a wonderful man anyway. Diana might be yelling it at you. Apparently, back to Greek times and Diana, you're all over it. Oh, no, it's not NCIS. No, not NCIS. Yes. NCIS. Yes, that's the one Kylie watches. No, it's not quite that. Very close, Diana. Very close. Sorry, now I'm just double thinking myself. So, and that breaks up into 9 groups. So there's the little, and it's going to be backwards for you, and you're just going to have to live with that, and that's all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And what it recognises is no one is just one. So we don't just fit in and be one personality type. So in this, if you're a 9, you'll have a bit of 1 and a bit of 8. So the numbers either side of you, under certain circumstances, will drift into those sort of personalities. Not only that, but if you're a 9, you're also linked to a 6 and to a 3. So one of those will be when you're under stress, you more go to that, and the other one will be when you're in quite a healthy place, you'll go towards that number. So, yeah, lots of interaction and cross. I want to say fertilisation, but it's not necessarily that. So it's realising, we're different parts, but we make up the whole. So I'm going to quickly run through it. So we did a long test when I, a few years ago, knew I had it from last week, read the Enneagram by Richard Rohr, and yes, well done, Diana. CSI. See, CISCSI. It's too close. I can see why you typed the wrong thing, Rod. Diana gets another prize. Diana is sweeping it up. The Enneagram by Richard Rohr and Andreas Erbert, they sort of have the sense of, well, read through and one will resonate with you and that's your type. I read through and went, that one could be me. That one could be me. That one could be me. So it didn't really help. So it helped that we did a test. And interestingly enough, on our day, so our presenter, whose name has just gone flying out of my brain, explained what each one was, and I was like, I think I'm a 5. Also think I might be a 1. I'm going to go with 5. And of course I ended up being a 9, which the 1 personalities we'll see is very, structured, ordered and right. So my sort of 1 bit that I sneak into the 9 wasn't very happy that I'd got it wrong and that I was a 9. I should be a 5 because that's what I'd said and I should be right. Anyway, let's run through it quickly. So I'll explain a little bit about the types, read some stuff about them, and I'll tell you some famous people who may have been that type. There you go. And I'll read out some names that I don't know. Maybe you're really clever and you know them, or maybe they're just people that the Enneagram people know and nobody else knows. Let's go. Number one, they call the Strict Perfectionist. Strict Perfectionist. Sounds like me, doesn't it? I'm not a 1. I'm a 9, remember. Yes. Ones are about improvement and right action, ensuring things are done correctly. They are principled, with a clear sense of right and wrong, and may seem idealistic, self-righteous or judgmental. They organise their world and value facts, precision and clarity, working hard to avoid mistakes. Their gift is in discernment, evaluation, and knowing what is right. So, as I think about me, there's definite parts of me that are that, it's about precision, it's about making sure everything's right at the appearance. The integrative 9 site says Enneagram 1's value principles and integrity and are driven by the motivational need to be good and right. Their name comes from the striving for perfection and self-control. Integrity and quality will also be important to them. Ones tend to appreciate standards, principles and structures. At their best, ones are tolerant, self-accepting and serene, offering dignity and discernment to themselves and the world around them. Less healthy type 1s tend to be judgmental, uncompromising and pedantic, driven by the critical gaze and an acute awareness of their own imperfections and sense of not being good enough. Algorithms must be answered left to right. I'm sure they should be, Kylie. Yes, absolutely. Oh, is that you displaying... Oh, that Ollie's a 1, maybe. I don't know. I think Ollie was having struggles with maths the other day. And no, we've got to do it this way. So I think that's what Kylie's suggesting. I definitely see oneness in Ollie, although apparently you're not... Children are still developing, so you can't necessarily see it, but I think he might be a 1. Although there's some other things that he might be too. I think we'll find he could be a 3 as well. So 1's very about structure, good order. So they're principled, objectives, conscientious, structured, quality-minded. Blind spots, 1's may appear critical or impatient. They might be unaware of how irritation, anger and resentment show up in body language despite their best efforts, and feel righteous. I need to keep moving because I'm going to run out of time. Some famous 1's: Andy Stanley, Christopher Cook, Elizabeth Warren, Kendra Adachi. I know none of those people. Maybe you do. I know that some of these. C.S. Lewis, Father Richard Raw, wrote that book over there. Jelani Memory, Kim Holderness, Lee Camp, Michelle Obama, Natalie Portman, Steve Jobs. All number 1's about perfection and getting things right. You can definitely imagine that with people like Steve Jobs. So that's number 1. And number 1's, 9's and 8's tend to be more active. 2's, 3's and 4's tend to be more feeling. 5's, 6's and 7's tend to be more thinking. That's why I sort of eventually went to maybe I'm a number 5 because I tend to dwell, as an introvert, dwell in the thinking phase, but apparently not. Anyway, number 2. Number 2 is the considerate helper. This is where I think Kylie might be, but don't let me bias you if you're listening. Considerate helper. 2's want to meet others' needs in a helpful, supportive way. Warm, giving, and people-oriented. They seek affirmation from their relationships and may be sensitive and angry if they feel unappreciated. They may over-involve themselves in others' lives and risk being manipulative. Their development challenge is to give unconditionally and to nurture themselves as well as others. So that very thinking. Enneagram 2's have a motivational need to be liked and appreciated. 2's value relationships and, as a result, kindness, generosity and self-sacrifice are important to them. 2's strive to make the world a more loving place, primarily by offering support and attention to those who they care about. At their best, 2's are unconditionally supportive, able to practice self-care and offer the gift of humility to themselves and the world around them. Less healthy 2's may seem flattering and manipulative as they give to get, motivated by a deep belief that they don't deserve to be loved for who they are. So 2's are warm, giving, people-centered, sacrificing and praising. So wonderful 2's. Some famous 2's. Let's see if we know them. Andrew Greer, Beatrice Chestnut. Don't know, but was she roasting over an open fire? Could have been. Emily Lay, Lisa Jo Baker, Debbie Reynolds, Dolly Parton. Know that one. Jeff Little, JJ Peterson, Jessica Alba, Maya Angelou, Stevie Wonder, Tristan Collins. How many of those people do you know? You're a couple. Okay, number 3, the competitive achiever. 3's are doers and tend to be practical, task-oriented, and project a polished persona or image. They are competitive and will make sacrifices to achieve their goals and appear successful. They risk becoming overstretched or workaholic and may resort to deception or expediency to win. At higher integration, they work towards self-acceptance and authentic influence, connecting heart and hands. So Enneagram 3s are likely to value achievement and want to be the best. As a result, efficiency, results, recognition and image are very important to them. 3s strive for success in their chosen field and tend to be highly flexible and willing to adapt to achieve their goals. At their best, others will experience 3s as hard-working, principled and receptive, offering the gift of hope and integrity to the world. In an unhealthy state, the 3s' overexpressed need for achievement may seem self-important and inconstant. This stems from a sense of self-worth that is built on what the 3 does rather than who they are. It's all about working up the ladder sort of thing. So they're about ambition, efficient, adaptable, driven, and results-oriented. So those people that are sort of trying to achieve, that's your 3s. Some famous 3: Amy Downs, Dave Hollis, Holly Hayes, McRae, don't know. I do know Beyonce, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Jenny Carton, Jordan Lee Dooley, Michael Hyatt, Muhammad Ali, Oprah Winfrey, and Paula Faris. I think I knew more of those ones. So that's 3, the competitive achiever trying to work their way up. We're halfway. We've only done 3. Oh, let's go. Intensive creative. Here's Ollie, possibly. 4s search for meaning, depth, and authenticity. They are emotionally sensitive and attuned to their environment, creative and expressive as individuals. They may seem emotionally moody, dramatic, focusing on what is lacking in their lives. As they integrate, 4s get in touch with their inner creative voice, but able to separate their identity and their emotions. Enneagram 4s have the motivational need to express their uniqueness and to be authentic. 4s value individualism and, as a result, feelings, self-expression and purpose will be important to them. They are quite romantic at heart and appreciate beauty and creating meaning for themselves and for others. At their best, 4s are experienced as sensitive yet content. They offer the gift of equanimity and authenticity to themselves and the world. And less healthy 4s may feel misunderstood, while others experience them as melancholic and temperamental. This pattern stems from the 4's acute awareness of their own wounds and flaws. So the gifts of Enneagram 4 include self-aware, purpose-driven, inspired, sensitive, and courage. Some famous 4s. Yes. Barry Tesler, Ben Higgins, Dr. Kurt Thompson, Ian Morgan Cron, Anne Frank, Chuck DeGroat, or Grote, Dakota Fanning, Edgar Allan Poe, Frida Kahlo, Leanne Deering, Taylor Swift, Tori Kelly. So the really creative ones, the intense and creative, they're coming up with the ideas. Yes. Number 5, the quiet specialist. 5s are private individuals with an active mental life, observing and exploring how the world works. They struggle to share thoughts and feelings and may seem socially awkward or disinterested. At lower integration, 5s may be withdrawn, antagonistic, and aggressively defend their isolation. At higher integration, they are an intellectual pioneers, bringing their perceptive wisdom unselfconsciously. So, this one, 5s. Enneagram 5s have the motivational need to know and understand. So they want to grasp what's going on. 5s value making sense of the world around them, and as a result, objectivity and knowledge are important to them. 5s strive for independence, appreciate privacy, and tend to conserve their resources to ensure future independence. At their best, others will experience 5s as visionary and mindful. They offer the gift of non-attachment to themselves and the world. At their worst, others may experience a 5 as stingy, intellectually arrogant, and disconnected from their heart. as they retreat into their mind to avoid being engulfed by or intruded on. So the gifts they bring are perceptive, curious, unsentimental, self-sufficient, and inventive. And famous fives are Amanda Cook, Dr. Richard Lidroth, oh, I don't want that, Elizabeth Evans, Morgan Harper Nichols, Albert Einstein, Bill Gates, Carey Nieuwhof, Jonathan Collins, Knox McCoy, Mark Zuckerberg, Stephen Hawking, Tim Burton. See some similar type people there. So 5, the quiet specialist. In their world, working it all out, sort of coming with order. Number 6, the loyal skeptic. 6s easily tune into potential danger and risks, acting on a sense of anxiety, and think in skeptical ways. They value trust, responsibility, and loyalty, and need to feel they are safe and belong. At lower integration, they may be paranoid, reactive, and insecure as loyalty turns into dependency and oversensitivity. At higher integration, self-reliant and grounded 6s give confidence to those around them, resiliently coping with risk. Enneagram 6 values security and belonging, as this style stems from the motivational need to be safe and prepared. As a result, loyalty and trust are important to 6s, who strive to be responsible and prepared at all times. At their best, 6s are courageous and connected to a sense of inner knowing, offering the gift of devotion and trust to themselves and the world around them. Less healthy 6s have a tendency to worry excessively, fear letting down their defences, and may be experienced as anxious, suspicious, or doubting. So the gifts they bring are devotion, courage, preparedness, trustworthiness, and team-oriented. So they're going to think through, they're going to question things, which is helpful for us to question. So again, none of these are the best, none of these are bad. They all bring, and we need all of these in a sense to do the best. Some famous 6s: Bart Millard, Betsy Miller, Jamie Ivey, Jill Phillips, Aaron Nyquist, Bear Grylls, Ben Affleck, Daniel Craig, Ellen DeGeneres, J.R.R. Tolkien, Princess Diana, and Tom Hanks. So there you go. There's some illustrious people to be amongst if you're a 6. So Loyal Skeptic 6. Number 7, the enthusiastic visionary. 7s seek variety, stimulation, and fun, tackling challenges with optimism and engaging with life in a future-oriented way. As team members, they bring creativity, energy, and optimism. They may seem distracted, hedonistic, insensitive, or irresponsible to others. 7s are often unhappy, but deny this, escaping into hyperactivity and impulsive pleasure-seeking. At higher integration, they are present, finding joy within. So Enneagram 7s have the motivational need to experience life to the fullest and avoid pain. 7s value the sense of freedom and focus on our optimism, being inspired and taking opportunities as they present themselves. 7s approach life as an adventure and appreciate being playful and spontaneous. At their best, others will experience 7s as content and serene when they are able to embrace sobriety and become present to themselves and the world around them. At a less healthy level, others may experience 7s as impulsive, uncommitted, and unfocused as they are distracted by their insatiable search for fulfillment and fear of missing out. The gifts they bring: optimistic, flexible, future-oriented, practical, adventurous. So these are some of the people that will help us to see what's our vision, where are we headed. The 7s will be these visionary people who go, hey, let's look forward to that. Some famous 7s: Ali Worthington, David Nurse, Jamie Grace, Jeannie Allen, Blake Mycoskie, Elton John, Jack Black, Lil Nas X, Miley Cyrus, Paul Vogue, Penn Holderness, Robin Williams. So those big thinking people. The enthusiastic visionary. Number 8. We're going to make it, I think. The active controller. 8s are forces of nature with a strong presence and personality, that values being in control. They are guarded by caring and protective of those around them, as they mask any vulnerability with a tough, no-nonsense exterior. They may seem intimidating and confrontational. At high integration, they combine their directness with compassion, collaborating with others while serving the greater good. Enneagram 8s have a motivational need to be strong and avoid showing vulnerability. They value having a sense of control and being direct and impactful. 8s love challenges and will embody a need for justice, which enables them to protect others. Healthy 8s are experienced by others as strong, deeply caring, and approachable. They offer the gift of innocence to themselves and the world around them. When they align with the flow of reality, at their worst, others will experience 8s as domineering, aggressive, and lustful, an image that stems from the 8 strategy to express themselves as larger than life in a threatening world. So they bring the gift of assertive, decisive, protective, independent, influential. These are sort of the bigger leader type people. I'm going to push forward. We're going to do this. People like Dr. Sasha Shilcutt, Joshua Dubois, Marcus Johns, Michelle Fortin, Bernie Sanders, Dr. Phil McGraw, Joe Saxton, Kathy Bates, Laura Camp, Martin Luther King Jr., Pablo Picasso, Tony Newhoff. Last one. Number 9. Number 9 is alive. Is it number 9? Number 5. Number 5 is alive. Sorry. Total misquote. Bad me. What movie did that come from? There you go. There's another prize. Tell me what movie Number 5 is alive comes from. Have a prize. Just giving prizes away today. Number 9 is the adaptive peacemaker. 9s are diplomatic and attuned to the ideas of others, often as facilitators or mediators in groups. They form the glue between people with their friendly, grounding, and stable demeanour. They struggle to connect with their own point of view, say no, and often avoid all conflict. At high integration, they are independent and self-respecting, acting with self-awareness and autonomy. So Enneagram 9s are motivated by a need to be settled and in harmony with the world. And as a result, being accommodating and accepting will be important to them. They strive for a peaceful existence and appreciate stability, preferring to avoid conflict. At their best, 9s are experienced as self-aware and vibrant. They offer the gift of right, sustainable action to themselves and the world around them. Less healthy 9s may be experienced as procrastinating, stubborn, and self-denying. That's never me. This stems from a pattern of going along to get along with others and the eventual discomfort that arises when this strategy is not satisfying. So the gifts they bring are agreeable, understanding, patient, supportive, and genuine. Some famous 9s: Amanda Sudano, Audrey Assad, Lisa Tekursrust, Seth Abrams, Abraham Lincoln, Alicia Keys, Anne Bogle, Audrey Hepburn, Maddie Vogue, Marie Kondo, Queen Elizabeth II, yes, hello, and Walt Disney. So there are the 9 Enneagrams. Maybe as we raced through that, you went, oh, that sounds like me. You might want to go back and do some reading. You can easily find it. So Enneagram, E-N-N-E-A-G-R-A-M, E-N-N-E-A-G-R-A-M. I want to do some research. I want to find a free test, try it out, see if you can work out which one you are. Not to put you in a box, but to help you to go, okay, this is how I think. And the 2 either side of me, I might flick into those, and there's 2 others that I will naturally go into if I'm in a bad state or if I'm in a healthy state. These are all just to help us to understand who God has created us to be so we can work best in teams. Have a look into it. You know who I am. Wonder who are you? Hope you have a great week. Keep safe, keep healthy. We'll see you on the other side of isolation. Bye.